Wow, I am so honored right now to bring to you the first woman police chief in the history of Dallas, Miss Renee Hall.
Hey.
Good morning, everyone.
First of all, can you please tell me who be beating you up?
No one.
Your face.
Actually, I'm not really wearing anything today other than a tinted moisturizer.
But let me tell you, when you first got here, you know what beat means, right?
Yes,
Okay.
when your face is made up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, every time I see you, you are just perfection.
That is the good Lord.
Won't you do it? Don't cry.
Yes,
Oh.
that is what that is. But tinted moisturizer, some lip gloss, and some lashes.
And some lashes. Okay, because I mean, you really keep yourself together. I mean, you to have such a huge responsibility on your hands. Every time I see you, you represent women to the T. You just represent us very well.
Thank you so much. And I think that what we have to remember is, although historically law enforcement has been a male-dominated field, we're women. And we don't want to be men in these roles. We want to be who we are. And part of being a woman is being beautiful, is being well put together. So those are the things that you maintain. You hold on to who you are in the role, because law enforcement is not who we are, it's what we do.
Exactly. Now, since you've been here, how have you been received by the police department?
You know, for the most part, I am so blessed because the majority of officers, community, everyone has received me very warmly. I've been warmly welcomed. But you do have those naysayers. And it probably doesn't matter who I am or where I come from. You just have those individuals that are not convinced. It's show me. So they are looking for something, or I may not ever be able to please them. Some of it could be that I'm a woman, and I'm not from the city of Dallas. And then the other piece of it is I'm not sure what they've been through and what they're used to as it relates to prior leadership and what leadership means to them. So my goal is to make sure that everybody understands what the mission and the vision is, and let them know that they are my first priority. They mean the world to me, that they have my unwavering support as long as we're operating above the law, and that we are holding ourselves accountable, holding the community accountable, that we're a team, and that our goal is just to make this city one of the premier law enforcement agencies in the country. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to make sure that they have a voice. Created a advisory board for the officers as well as the community, because I want to hear from them.
Right, because you have an open door policy, right, for the police department.
Absolutely, I do, and some officers have taken advantage of it. I do know that they tested it. Give me an example. There was one officer I met in the mall, and we were at North Park Mall, and he walks up to me and we talked, and he said, well, Chief, I'd love to sit down and talk to you. I said, I have an open door policy, stop by anytime. This was a Friday. On Monday morning, he stopped by. He worked deep nights in Northeast. And he stopped by and just wanted to see if he could talk to me. I said, you know what? I got about 15-20 minutes. Come in, sit down. Brought his partner in. We actually talked for about a half hour. They talked about some things they would like to see me do. I'm currently implementing those things, giving out a newsletter, making sure that I'm putting out videos to keep them informed. So we're not necessarily listening to rumors. They're listening to the message from the chief. So my door is open to anyone of all ranks, and they can stop in at any time. Now, I can't tell you I'm always in the office. But if I'm there and if they're there, we're going to communicate. I attend roll calls. I go out. There is no me up high and the troops down low. We're all one. So I'm not asking them to do anything I'm not willing to do. So just right now, the focus is getting in my uniform, taking the state exam. And so we can all, hang out here together, write some tickets and
Write some tickets.
So you're more than willing to be in the front line.
Absolutely.
Get your hands dirty, the whole nine.
I that's the kind of chief I am. If I know you've read about me, if you know anything about me, as a deputy chief in the city of Detroit, that's what I did. I answered police runs. I made traffic stops all the time because I'm a cop.
Yeah, right,
I just happen to be a high-ranking cop, but I'm still a cop, and the things that I ask the officers to do, I can't be far removed from doing because that's not leadership. So we lead by example.
And knowing what it's like.
Absolutely.
Like having the experience, well, I've been there. I've done this.
Absolutely.
I know what you're talking about,
And that's the only way that you can really make decisions. And if you're removed, because the reality is when you are a chief, your requirements in a day are different. So you're pulled in different directions. So you're not as up close and personal as the officers who do it every day. So that's the reason that I've created an avenue for them to have a voice. Tell me what you need, because as I'm implementing new policy and making decisions, I don't want to make decisions in a vacuum. I don't want to make a decision about something I'm not doing every day. So if I'm saying, here's the policy, I need them to say, well, you know what, Chief, that doesn't really work because here's an obstacle.
Right.
So then that allows us as a department to, make the necessary adjustments and create policy that actually will work with the officers that we have. So, just making sure that everyone has a voice, everyone's at the table, because this is bigger than Chief Renee Hall. This is the Dallas Police Department. And if we don't, it's like Vidal Sassoon. If you don't look good, we don't look good. We don't look good. So
You just threw it way back there, Chief.
just telling my age. I'm kind of old.
But you don't look it. Not at all. Not at all. What do you foresee to be your biggest hurdle now that you're here in Dallas as the police chief?
I think, no matter where you are, law enforcement is challenging overall. It's not the police departments that it used to be in the 80s and the 90s. We have so many different challenges, not just terrorist attacks. I should say the truth of the matter is now we're focused on terrorist attacks, and it's not just your local safety that you're concerned with. So we're trying to keep other people safe, and in most instances, we're trying to keep ourselves safe because there are individuals who want to do us harm as well. So I think when we ask what the challenge is, I think it's recruiting. There was a large article that went national regarding myself and millennials. Very misquoted, but I do want to say, with millennials, that's who we want, and the generation after millennials. I think they're Xers, not Xers, or
Generation X or
Zs. They're Generation Zs. So that's who we want to attract to the department, but law enforcement in its current state does not benefit that. We work long hours, nights, weekends, holidays. There's little room for work-life balance.
How's the pay?
And the pay is low. I mean, you're not going to be rich being a law enforcement professional. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if you're an executive, you don't make a good living.
Oh, yeah, right.
But
you can move up.
You can move up.
Right.
And that's the opportunity that you have in law enforcement. But initially coming in, there are some challenges. We have pension challenges. Dallas Police Department is lower paid than any other agency in the Metroplex. So those are the challenges that we have. And so my job here is to create an environment that has opportunities, that gives individuals the opportunity to move up, to be successful, and just that it's a great place to build a living, take care of your families, as well as get educated and get those things in place to be attractive to that generation that we want so badly to be a part of our organization. So that's the biggest challenge is making sure that I have all of those pieces in place that is attractive to this next generation. So
because it's right now it's kind of hard to make being a police officer cute.
What I can tell you, it's the best thing that I've ever done. I am extremely happy. I'm proud of the profession, and it's the best decision I ever made. But I need to make sure that translates to someone else, that they understand the benefits, how to get to this level, because it's achievable. And so we just need to make sure that people understand it, and that the atmosphere is created that attracts them to it, because I don't think people really understand law enforcement. We see what's on television, and we think
that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah.
Oh, I love that show now. Come on now. That show is hilarious. And if police stations were like that, I'm going to be a cop.
You know what?
It's a lot of fun.
We need to create that because work should be fun.
It
It
should.
should not
Right.
be a stressful place. We have to create the atmosphere for that. So we're looking at all kind of things to work out, fitness challenges across the department.
You know what would be fun? Because, like, you know how it's so sad when you see reality TV stuff about cops is either First 48 or, any about people getting arrested. If they could make something fun that we could see about Dallas police that might can draw the millennials in and like, okay, that looks kind of fun.
And that's actually doable because what we don't want to create is a false sense of what the job entails, but those things that are truly achievable in this space. So that's the biggest hurdle that I have right now. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna do it, and
we're gonna help you.
Yes,
we're gonna help you.
I'm gonna need you guys to let people out in the audience know that we are recruiting.
All the
Come
time.
help the city of Dallas be the best police department in this country. Chief Hall needs your help. So come, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
I was
join.
gonna say, I think that's a really interesting idea that you're saying, just as far as like reaching out to millennials, because coming out of college, there was a time where we went back and we have like a Thursday spot that we go to, and we went back, and one of our close friends that we went to school with was a police officer. So everybody was like, what? And at first it was kind of like, we kind of clowned him a little bit, like, you a cop now?
You're a
But
cop?
it was cool though, it was cool to like see somebody personally that we knew on the other side. And so, of course we had all kinds of questions, so, like, what is it like? Because, we now have this sort of idea, we have this perception of, cops, and especially in our community, and especially just being young. I went to an HBCU.
So did I.
So it's like super.
Hey.
I went to Prairie View. Oh gosh.
Go.
Oh goodness.
I'm always throwing
So,
Grambling in her face
Yeah.
all the
Oh,
time.
you did it this morning.
This
Chris.
morning,
God.
because they're performing at the Mavs game or something. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's a really interesting topic that needs to be brought up, and we hear it more often, especially in our generation. Just like we want to be leaders, and I think our generation, the millennials, I think we're even a little more inclined to want to reach out and be put in those positions to be in law enforcement. So
I think you raise a valid concern is that the perception of law enforcement by the millennials and what's trending across this country right now,
right.
and our strained relationship with our community. But I would challenge you and the rest of the millennials that in order for you to make a difference, you have to be a part of that institution that makes a difference, and that's our role. And that would be your role in law enforcement, to make sure that we have the positions, that we're in the place, that we're able to effectuate change. And being a chief allows me to make policy that makes sure that we have the community's best interest, that we're taking care of ourselves, because in order for us to take care of anyone else, we have to take care of ourselves.
Right.
But that we're operating with the highest level of integrity, and that we are following policy, and that we are administering the law in a fair way. And that's the way to effectuate change, is actually be a part of that that process.
So I just want to put a message out to all the millennials. A lot of us, we're looking for our seat at the table. So I think this is definitely a way for us to have our voice heard, and we gotta get in the room. Yeah, we gotta get in the room somehow.
And speaking of having a seat at the table, when the Mavs play the Pistons, where you gonna be sitting at?
In the center of the court.
And what about when the Cowboys play the Lions?
On the 50-yard line.
Okay.
So here's a great thing. There was a hockey game between the Red Wings and the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
And the most beautiful thing, I was so humbled and so blessed. They allowed me to drop the puck.
Okay.
And then both teams skated out and gave me jerseys with my last name on both
What?
teams.
That's
nice.
You should have worn that today.
So, Chief, who's the real D? Big D.
Well, I'm in Dallas, so Dallas.
And speaking of being in Dallas, where is your favorite place to eat now that you're here?
V Eats. V Eats, the vegan restaurant, and Spiral Diner.
Oh, so you're vegan?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Now
nice.
let's be clear. I was vegan for about 7-8 years.
Uh-huh.
I went to the FBI Academy. I was protein deficient, so I started back eating fish and some chicken. I'm done. I had gained about 8 pounds. So listen, I'm back vegan.
Not today, fat. Not today. All right. Well, that's why you got all that beautiful, clear skin and
Yeah, you do look amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No
That's
problem.
just, I'm telling you, when I tell people all the time, because this is just who I am. The beauty you see on the outside is the God that's on the inside.
Ooh, nice.
Well, Chief, Cruz has been crushing on you all morning, so.
Oh, really?
You know
we
what?
kind of cute.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm
Thank you, man.
That's one more question. Is it hard for you to date?
Absolutely.
I mean,
And it doesn't get
not
easier.
even want to approach you. I don't even think they probably approach you, do they?
Are you surrounded by
Chief, what's your
bodyguards
zodiac
and stuff
sign?
all the time?
I am.
Yeah,
But
so-
here's what's real. And it's challenging, not just for me, but any woman who has a very demanding career. Traditionally, let's talk about men. Men want their women at home. You want to cook. You want them to be able to be available to you.
Right.
In these roles, that's the difference. You know, I've been busy, and not just as a chief. I was a deputy chief before I became a chief, and before that, I was a commander. And so there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of long nights. There's a lot of travel, and there's some really great guys. And I've met and dated some really great men. But men need to be needed, and right now I'm busy.
You're dating Dallas right now.
Yes.
All right, but if we ever found somebody for you, would you be willing to go out on a date? No.
Just set you up, Chief. We got
Come
you.
on.
Don't do
My
that.
daddy's nice. No, I'm just playing.
What I will say is because of my faith, I think when God is ready for me to have a mate, he
You
will
will.
send him,
Right.
and I will be open and receiving of that.
That's
Already.
beautiful.
Put your hands together for the first woman ever. Dallas Police Chief. Won't it do it?
Won't it do it?